Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find ritual extirpation of undesirable ladies of another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past watch them and pray?
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, spitters, and quitters, and anybody who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. I am your host, Tasker, and we have the very spooky, the very bedroom synth wave, dark pop looking Nick.
Look, buddy, all right? Let me tell you a little something about my look, all right? Yeah, I look like a fuckboy emo kid. Yeah, that's fine. Everybody tells me I look like a fuckboy emo kid. But guess what? I'm the original. I am the original emo kid from back in the early 2000s. Okay, maybe mid 2000s, all right?
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Have you been bullied for this, or are you still doing the bullying?
I'm still bullying. Look, I'm big, all right? I'm a big dude who happens to, I dress darkly inclined. Okay, I'll put it that way. Do you think anybody has the balls to come up to me and be like, hey, nice nail polish? You know what I mean? I'll put him in a titty twister.
Well, I wonder if you do that on purpose, because one, I know you do legitimately do enjoy like the look and the music, but like, do you dress like compromising on purpose to kind of like invite people to try to like test it?
I hope so. I hope some redneck a-hole out here in this new state I'm in just decides to start something with me like, hey, buddy, you looking like you're in a hurry in them tight jeans going somewhere. I'm like, yeah, why don't you take a look at it longer, old man? I'll bend over for you, too. Wait, hold on. That didn't come out right. Wait a second.
Sounds like an amazing time in where you're at around this Halloween season.
Oh, yes, Halloween. You want to hear something spooky? I got something spooky for you. Look, everybody loves Doritos. Everybody loves tacos. But when you put them together and you get those Doritos Locos tacos from Taco Bell and you eat 12 of them, there's something that happens that's really spooky inside your intestines. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. That's fucking horrifying.
If by spooky you mean life-threatening and a caution to your entire life's health, yes, correct.
I'm having trouble breathing right now. So.
Yeah, it could be Rona, or it just could be Doritos Locos Tacos.
It could, you know what it was? It was, and right, and it was fucking spooky. Look, I'm uncomfortable. It snowed this morning in October, and it's fucking freezing, dude. It is colder than a witch's titty in a brass bra right now, dude. Yeah. It is. My toes, I can't feel it.
Yeah, that's right. California boy, and now you're in the snow like everyone else.
Jesus, man. Oh my God. Okay, look, but before we get into anything too spooky, there's something that we got to do. We got to do our horror scope for the time for the episode before Halloween. All right, let's get spooky with our horoscopes.
Yep, it's the last horror scope before we just go back to regular horoscopes.
Regular dumb middle-aged white woman horoscopes.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so October 25th, a conflict between your responsibilities to family and obligation to friends could rear its ugly head today, Scorpio. You might want to attend an event, but need to deal with these emotional issues in the home immediately. It could be difficult to keep a cool head under these circumstances. If you can, you should find a way to satisfy your family and go out. Step back and be objective.
Satisfy your family, huh? You've been watching too much Pornhub.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I know you're going to say something.
What are you doing, step bro?
I saw a comic where it was this girl who's like, she puts like a small little ladder to go and like fix a light bulb. And then she falls over and the step ladder falls on her. She's like, what are you doing, step ladder?
What are you doing, step ladder?
Well, on that note, my sex rating is 3 out of 5. Okay. My hustle, yeah, not bad. I've seemed to be rocking a good average lately. Hustle is 2 out of 5. Vibe is 2 out of 5, and success is 2 out of 5. So sex is all I got going for me today, man.
Damn. I mean, hey, that's all right. It could be worse.
It could be, I guess.
But it's not ideal. Your stars are not aligning the way you want them to.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, love match today. Still Cancer.
Hey, you back the fuck off. Just because I was talking about me and skinny jeans earlier, that was not an invite.
I resist, but I think you're just awakening new fetishes that I didn't think were possible.
Okay, let's move on to mine before I get too hard.
Right.
All right, October 25th. This could be a confusing day for you, Cancer. Financial issues, yes, it is very sexually confusing as well.
Yes.
Financial issues might be complicated by computer glitches or failures in communication. Keep pushing, however, and whatever you're trying to straighten out will be resolved. An opportunity to participate in a project you've never tried before could have you doubting your abilities. Believe in yourself and then move ahead. There's a first time for everything. I'd say it's pretty spot on, but let's see what my stars are saying. All right. Sex, 3 out of 5. That's all right. Just like yours. Good.
Vibing.
Hustle, 2 out of 5. Not looking good on the hustle, but it's a Sunday. So,
What can you do?
Vibe is 3 out of 5. So I'm mid vibe,
Cool.
But my success is 4 out of 5.
What the? Nice. Okay. All right.
I don't know what that means, though. I don't know what I'm going to be doing today that's going to be successful, except for this beautiful podcast, of course, except for talking to our beautiful listeners. Whether you're a boy or a girl, you're beautiful in my eyes. All right. And never change who you are because somebody tells you that you should. Change who you are because you're disappointed in yourself.
Wow. That's took a turn, but very inspirational nonetheless.
Thanks.
By the way, this is kind of a weird side note, but I heard a joke in Spanish the other day, and it feels good, man. It feels like I was able to finally laugh at something cultural for my blood,
What was it about? Was it about the Taco Bell dog, the Chihuahua?
It was not about the Taco Bell. It was so I'll just say it in Spanish, and then I'll explain it, because I feel like if I explain it bit by bit, it's just not funny at all.
All right, hit me. I know Spanish, so you don't have to explain it to me. Explain it to the listeners.
All right. So you'll see. So it's basically there's a guy and a girl, and the girl's like, "Espera, ¿cómo te llamas?" Lope. Lope. Lo pelo de mi huevos. Now
that was classic, dude. The fucking he said Lope huevos, dude. That was good.
Dude, do you know what that means?
No.
Now, the joke there is Lope is not a name, but like the guy's like saying like that's his name. And she's like, Lope, like what the fuck? And his response is Lo pelo de mi huevos, which means the hair on my balls.
What was the question that she asked?
Oh, she's like, wait, what is your name? And then he's like, Lope. So Lope, lo pelo de mi huevos. So that's like somebody being like, oh, like, hold on, what's your name? And he says, Mija. They're like, Mija. It's like, me hair on my balls, and then runs away. That's kind of the equivalent.
Like a D's nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's good. D's nuts. It's like a D's nuts joke. That's pretty good. That's good.
I told you my vibe is 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. I'm doing my best here.
No, yeah, it was fine. I just like to keep it. I like to keep our podcast in one language, the right language.
Right. Yeah, I know it's an election season, so yeah, you're going a little extra hard today, huh?
Hey, speaking of elections, guys, don't vote this year. Don't vote. I know everybody in the fucking world's telling you to vote. Isn't there something suspicious about that? When washed up rock legends from the 80s on Twitter, and when I can't log into any social media platform without getting push notifications to vote, don't you think that's a little suspicious, especially this year, that they want us to go out and vote? Don't vote. All right. Your vote doesn't matter.
It does.
Look, it does not matter. They already decided who's going to be president. So who gives a shit? All right. They're just going to basically, it's like a reveal party. They already know who it is. They're just going to reveal it to you at the end of the quote unquote election. All right.
All right.
Your vote doesn't count. It doesn't matter. You know what they do with their votes when you get them in? They take them, they sniff it, right, to make sure that humans actually filled it out. They wipe their ass with it, and then they eat it. That's what they do with all their votes.
Interesting. And yet there are certain states where they've purposefully closed down as many voting places as possible to keep the lines as long as possible to keep people from voting. So I don't know. I think it goes both ways, man. I think trying to suppress votes versus it's just as bad as just not voting,
Don't vote. That's all I'm going to say before we get into this episode. Don't vote. It ain't worth it. All right. You have better things to do.
It's if you just do the mail-in, it literally takes 5 minutes. It's not a big deal.
It is a big deal. It takes 5 minutes to ruin your future. All right. That's what Tasker is saying.
It's not just voting for the president. There's other shit that needs to like get passed too, you know?
Yeah, who cares about that shit though? You know what I mean?
It's kind of important.
I don't know. I didn't even open my ballot. I threw it in the fireplace.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They'll never get me.
Yeah, no, they won't because they'll be dead.
Yeah. That's the problem. We have 80-year-olds in the office. We need to fucking get some hip millennials in there. Let me run for president. All right.
Oh my God.
But this is not a politics podcast. Let's not get into it. I just wanted to say my 2 cents. Don't vote.
Right.
It's not worth it. All right. You guys, awesome.
Because today is actually not about us at all. It's about the listener.
It's about you guys. It's about you people.
Wherever you come from, we get listeners actually all over the world, which is crazy. And I always forget there's a thing about time zones.
Time zones. How do they work? I don't know.
Something I'm pretty sure has to do with the sun and the Earth's rotation.
It would make more sense if the Earth was actually a globe, but that's a discussion for another time. This is not about us. This is not about the Earth. So first off, guys, welcome back. All right. This is a very special episode of Close Encounters. All right. This is a series we are now beginning called Oral with the Boys. You know, we just want to keep up with an American oral tradition, and we're going to keep it alive by hearing stories told by you, our listeners.
Yep, we just want to take them and just suck them right down and just fill our bellies with all the juicy, hot tales of horror and paranormal that you got.
Exactly. And if it's too much, if these stories are too much to swallow, we'll spit out the remainder. But it's just oral with the boys. And that's just what we're here to do. All right.
Yeah, we spent a very long and hard, veiny time trying to gather and curate all these tales together. But we finally did it. This is the episode we've been talking about.
We did it, guys. So thank you. First off, up top, thank you for sending in your stories. Thank you for letting us read them. Remember what I said the last couple episodes. We will be making fun of certain aspects of them. Do not take it personally. I have a fucking job to do. All right. So by the time this comes out, there will only be 3 days left until Halloween, the greatest holiday in the world. All right. And so what a better way to celebrate than reading spooky, creepy tales from the people we adore the most. You guys are listeners. All right. So we do have some nicely curated tales for you, by you. And without further ado, I want you guys to all get comfortable. I don't care what time it is, right? We just talked about time zones. I don't care if it's dude, I don't know what time it is in South Africa. I don't know what time it is anywhere. Whatever time it is, slip into bed, slip into your onesies, you know, like those little onesies with like the little buttons on the back with the butt flap. I want you guys all in those, please. And do your nighttime routines, put your face mask on, brush your teeth, fab, do whatever you do before bed, you know, pop in some earbuds, slip into bed, get your favorite beverage because we're going to be reading stories today. All right.
Now, for onesies with the butt flap, is that because onesies are usually for like toddlers and, you know, they shit their pants a lot?
I think so. But that's not, I'm not calling our listeners toddlers by wanting them to wear them.
Oh, no, I was just curious. Like, I was just wondering where that source came from. And maybe the adult version is just to like pay homage to the original. And also, too, it works for adults because if you're looking to get laid in there, because first of all, if you can get laid while wearing that onesie, unless you're already in a previous relationship, you earned it, man. So you get that easy access.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. And also, if you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, dude, you just pop your butt flap down.
Oh, so you don't have to take the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm learning.
I know. I'm thinking about buying one of those, dude.
Yeah, I know. You sold it pretty well. I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of neat. Though, as like dudes, though, do we have to like pull it up, like pull the butt flap like all the way to the front and like get that like thong wedgie while we go?
Well, I pee out of my butt, so I don't know what you do, but I'm good. I'm good both ways.
Yeah, good for you, man. That's actually, as a little kid, I obviously, you know, we don't really know how our bodies work as kids. So I used to think that the way girls went to the bathroom was because I just knew that they sat on the toilet and didn't have to stand. So I would thought they would just sit and then just like a little dick would come out of their butthole and just slip pee.
Oh, Jesus. That's a thing of nightmares that you... Dick butt.
Dick butt. See, man, I was on it. I was on it.
All right, guys. So yes, we're still learning about how the female body works. That's fine. It's fine. We're still learning. Let's go to our first story. All right. And this first one is from our friend of the podcast, Kristen. All right. So thank you, Kristen, for sending your story in. And this is actually kind of a pretty fucking spooky one. So I'm pretty hyped.
Awesome. Yeah. A lot of these are kind of, I don't know. I don't read the outline, but I know there's a couple of them that are pretty spooky in here.
Yes. Yeah, Tasker, if you if you don't read the outline in the past, why would you start today? You know, you may as well just never. It's fine. I mean, today there's no information. I hardly read those. I read the stories once, and then I put them in the outline, so it'll be fresh for me too.
So let's hope we didn't just like skim through and they just throw in a bunch of like racist like manifesto. Use this as a platform.
I'll still read it because I believe in the First Amendment.
Yep. I mean, we are proponents of free speech here.
Yes.
That was a dangerous thing for me to say because
except for when you cut my banger jokes.
Every single one of them.
All right, let's get started with the story. Hi guys, thanks so much for having my experience on the show. It means a lot. You guys are my favorite. Hey, thanks, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen.
So, my experience involved a demon, the Midnight Man, I thought, but my roommate's mom says it could be otherwise, and I'll get to that. Well, I saw some people on YouTube doing this game called the Midnight Man, which when I looked it up, it said it used to be an old pagan ritual that they would use to punish people who disobeyed the gods.
Dude, I fucking hate the Midnight Man. That shit's so creepy.
Yeah, I've looked into it a little bit too. It's pretty creepy, and Kristen's got balls for like actually doing it.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I wouldn't even try it. Like I saw it, I'm like, I don't care if it's real or not. This is if I hear a mouse that's too loud, I freak out.
Anyway, it involves writing your name on a piece of paper and putting a drop of your blood on it. Bad idea, I know now. And lighting a candle and knocking on the front door with the last knock ending at midnight exactly. And blowing out the candle and relighting it. And you're supposed to basically hide from the Midnight Man in complete darkness for 3 hours until 3:33 a.m.
Okay, I got to point out. So you have to knock and then have your last knock at midnight, right?
Yes.
What if you like accidentally started at like 11:30 or just like stuck there for just 30 minutes? Just
I think you let's see. Lighting and knocking on the front door with oh yeah, so you have to just continually knock for half an hour.
Yep, if you fucked up. So I guess if you're gonna do it, plan out your day.
Yes, do it like 15 seconds before midnight.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, nothing happened during the game, but when I got up the next morning, I saw my name and the paper with blood completely burnt around the edges except for the blood and the name. After that, my roommates and I hear growling in the walls that keep coming and going. And the next thing to happen was my roommate and I coming in from the backyard and seeing every single drawer and cabinet wide open in the kitchen. Damn.
Dude. Nope. Nope.
Ooh. Even I'm getting a little creeped out.
Well, we got to keep going.
My other roommate was napping at the time, so we know she didn't do it. We kept hearing the growling inside my wall, and my roommate went and tried to look in where the water heater is in my room, and when he opened the door and looked in, he jumped back and didn't speak for about half an hour. He was crying and finally told us he had a vision of his death. I won't get too into detail, but it was bad. We were terrified all night, and the next day his mom, who is basically a medium, came and blessed the house as well as saged it. Smart move. That's a smart move, Kristen. Always get your shit saged.
Always your first move, for sure.
What was weird was she told me to look up a psalm to ward off, and for those who don't know, it's Psalm, like the psalm from the Bible, right?
Yep.
To ward off evil. And I went on my phone and looked it up and chose one, and it just happened to be on page 666.
Jesus.
Damn. After blessing the house, nothing happened for a few months, but some more things have happened, including seeing black small measuring cup fly off the counter while I was reminiscing and talking about the situation we dealt with months prior, like it was listening.
So, wait, it just like flew at her? Or just fell off the counter?
It flew off the counter while she was talking about the incident that we just covered. That was like months previous.
No, I see.
And the TV spoke to me specifically and said my name and also spoke in Latin to me. And what it sounded like, quote, Deus salveras aminos vestras, unquote. I have no idea how to spell Latin, and I'm not understanding exactly what it was saying, which I really wish I knew. And I did look it up. I didn't get any translation for that, but I did see that one of those words means saved.
Whoa, boy.
Yeah, so that's not a good, like, it doesn't sound like a good thing to me.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm piecing something together. Sorry, I'm using my Google powers. Aminos. Oh, dude. Okay. Basically, so in my translation, I got you saved your aminos, and then when I searched what aminos meaning, it gave me the definition of ominous. So basically, you saved yourself from something ominous, is what it said.
Yikes.
That's fucking terrible. And remember, everybody, these are listener stories. This isn't from fucking some website. Like, these are other regular people like you.
This has happened. Dude, Tasker's gonna have a fucking stroke.
I'm not happy.
If you know anyone who knows Latin, let me know what it means. Other than hearing the growling once again in my walls, nothing has happened. Even when I tried the Ouija board, nothing happened. But my roommate's mom said, first off, the Ouija board, Tasker's going to give you a lecture about using a Ouija board. I think that was a smart move. I think that you should always use a Ouija board to figure out situations like this. Tasker, what's your take?
No, I think there's way too many ways that could go wrong. I think you should get somebody who's experienced in these arcane arts. That's not really the right term, is it?
What is this, Skyrim? Look,
yeah.
I don't know, man. Kristen seems like she knows what she's doing, man.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That wouldn't be my first choice because, like I said, it's just because it can go wrong just as well as it can go right. Because I know Ouija boards are supposed to like talk to benevolent. That's right?
Yeah, they're supposed to, but they open up doors to a lot of things if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, so I have faith in you, Kristen. I'm sure you knew what you were doing, but I'm just saying I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but never mind. I was gonna make fun of you because you're just a big old puss.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have even played the midnight game to begin with. That's why I don't have these problems.
I know. But my roommate's mom said she believes this is something that has been attached to me for a while and just took its chance when I played the game, so I'm not sure. She also said it speaks to me through her, and she basically channels it. And last she said it wanted to cherish and possess me, so I'm not sure how I feel about that. Anyways, that's basically it. Thanks, guys. Damn. This sounds like Kristen, this sounds like something that is definitely following you. It has nothing to do with the game you played or the Ouija board. This is just something that is finding any opportunity to show itself.
Yeah, well, it seems like, so maybe it's always been there, but when the game, you start playing the spirit games and stuff, that's when it finally had its chance to kind of like really come out. Because like we were talking about before with the sleep paralysis episode, with a lot of these spiritual stuff, it's like you kind of have to give them an opening, right?
For the most part, yeah, because most of us are strong-willed enough to not just let them in anytime.
Yeah.
But if you play a game like the Midnight Man, or if you're playing with the Ouija board and you're not prepared for it, those are just gateways, for lack of a better term, to a different dimension where these beings are and they're just itching to come out and possess you and diddle you and do all kinds of shit to you. So you got to be really careful when you're doing this kind of stuff, especially if they're already attached to you, because they'll look for any opportunity.
Yeah. And at least it was nice enough to ask her to possess instead of just going for it.
It could have been worse. This could have ended a lot worse. So, let us know if you've still got anything going on since then. That's interesting. That's pretty fucking creepy, man.
Yeah, I mean, coming from my background, I say count your lucky stars because holy shit, like Nick said, that could have gone south real quick.
Very quickly. But thank you, Krista, for sending in your story. That was a creepy ass one.
Yeah, thank you. Like especially the fucking kitchen part. That was, ugh, man. I see. This is why I don't like going into the kitchen at night unless I'm really hungry.
Or your garage. Your garage is haunted as fuck.
That place is. This is a short one because this is just an actual story of mine. But my garage has been creepy as shit since I was a kid. And I mean, I've gotten better about it. Like, I mean, I can go in there in the middle of the night when literally every guest I've ever had over is like, I don't want to fucking go in there. And I'm like, okay, if you say so. But there was that one time where I don't know if there's a term for this, but is there like a word for like when like it feels like words are being put into your head?
Not that I can think of. I'm sure there's a word for it, but I know what you mean though. Like where they're, yeah, like you're getting basically a download.
Yeah, it's almost one could argue psychic. Like, you know, it's a sort of like it feels like a message got sent to you or something like that. And I've never had that shit before. Like,
oh, like telepathy?
Kind of, yeah.
Was it like a voice or was it just writing that you saw?
It just felt like suddenly, like, you know how like when you think words, it's like you don't really think them like how we talk, you know? It's just like they're just kind of there. Suddenly the thought's just like in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like a thought just kind of just appeared out of nowhere. And I don't know if it was just the human brain being weird, but I swear to God, when I was in, I think like 10th grade or something, maybe a little earlier than that. I was pretty young, but I walked into my garage to go get something, and then suddenly it's just like the words "red-faced children" just suddenly like happened in my head. And I was like, okay. And I just, I think I was trying to grab like a drink, and I was just like, nope, I'm not thirsty. I'm drinking water today.
That's pretty creepy. That's pretty damn creepy.
Yeah. And I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, well, like that could mean a lot of things. Like it could be like a warning thing, or it could be, might have to do with Native Americans, because I know.
That's what I was going to say. It just sounds like you like Native American kids.
No, well, no, I don't think that's the fuck you. Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to solve your problem. All right.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the type, because I mean, it's pretty safe to say that my house does have something in it. We can say that for sure, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Your house is pretty haunted.
Yeah, but it's nice because like it doesn't feel like a malevolent haunted. It's like a like shit disappears every now and again. It's like nothing too crazy, but like, which is hilarious because, you know, me and like Puss in Boots over here, but like it's not that bad. But I wonder if that was like a sort of like articulation of maybe there are other spirits here, because we're pretty sure one of them is my my mom's grandpa, who like is kind of like a protective spirit. And then the other ones, like maybe those were like small Native American kids that maybe lived around this area as at this part. Because I mean, California, man, gold rush, a shit ton of Native Americans got killed out here by the prospectors.
Hell yeah.
Fucking dude, you just fucked me. You just
yeah, hopefully nothing comes to that. My bad.
Yeah, well, you know what, dude, they're gonna come for you, man. They're gonna travel states. They will find you.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll put their ear to the ground with their little feathers sticking out, just ready to go. I'll take them on. Look, we did it once. I can do it again.
See, it's easy for you to say because you don't live in the house. So thank you.
You're welcome. But that's creepy. I'll tell you that. I've been in your house many times. It's definitely haunted. So
yeah, for sure. We still because my great grandfather, he smoked a pipe. So like I've said before, I'm not super prone to spiritual experiences, so I don't really see most of the shit that goes on. But we smell his pipe every now and again, where you'll just be somewhere and then suddenly you just get that cigar smell, like, you know, that really like sweet, like, oh dude, it's so good. But yeah, it's tasty, and I don't mind it at all. I think it smells amazing.
He's just looking out for you.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I can sleep at night.
All right, let's go on to our next story, okay? And this next one is from a guy named Manuel. But I believe he goes by Manny for short because it just makes sense, right? Manny. Yeah. Manny Manuel. He's a Mexican guy, all right? And most likely one of Tasker's long-lost hermanos.
Yeah. I made my Hispanic joke, and now suddenly we're making connections, huh?
Yeah, actually, I am making connections, dude. You could just call me... I don't know, man. I'm still hungover.
That's like they call me the hip hopopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless.
Yeah, just like that. No, but yes, Manny for short. I don't know if he's actually Mexican. All right. I just threw it out there. You can correct me if you want, but Manuel is kind of one of those names where, look, you're either white or you're not.
That's a pretty broad spectrum.
I don't know, dude. I'm hungover. All right, let's go to the story. Dear Penthouse Forum.
Good one.
I have had things violently shoved into places by little green men so many times I can't even count them all, but that's another story. That should have been this story. Yeah. I want to hear about things getting shoved into your places.
Yeah, dude, that's one way to hit up that ethos, man. Get us to feel for you.
I've seen some things that make me question my sanity. Was it a dream? Did it really happen? Why can I remember so much from just one moment that I now question every strange instance in my life? Huh. Very philosophical, Manuel. When I was young, I don't quite remember how young, I was driving at night down the road with my mother on a pretty busy road. It was a normal drive when we stop at a red light, nothing unusual. Then, just ahead, a bright but not blinding light shoots straight up into the sky. After just a few moments, the light vanishes. Then I saw it. I don't know what made me look up. Maybe I had seen it already in the distance, or maybe some intuition made me look up. But when I did, I saw a large triangle just above us. Damn.
Wow.
And he describes it as, quote, think a Dorito, but more menacing, unquote.
Okay. Yeah, we're going back to the Doritos Locos Tacos again, huh?
It just... Look, this is meant to be now, because this is it. He gets it. He knows how devastating it can be.
Gastrointestinal discomfort, but beside... Oh, God damn it, dude. I guess I'm more hungover than I thought.
We both are. It's okay.
All right. Let's do the story justice, though.
We're both just going to sound like Porky Pig the rest of the episode, just like stuttering all over the place. And
we've already established, this is a reading episode.
This is all reading. This is all reading of stuff I didn't write. So I'm going to be very unfamiliar. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. This is, like we said, this is the first time we've done an episode like this. So, go through it with us along the ride of figuring this shit out as we go.
Hell yeah. On to the story. It was slowly moving over us, the triangle, draped in the darkness of the night. There were next to no lights on it, but there was no power outages, and the car didn't shut off, but I did see it. And then it was gone. I remember, as the light turned green and we drove away, looking back and still seeing it until I was out of range. Ever since then, I've been afraid of the dark or afraid to be alone in the dark. I avoid going on walks at night, and if I ever am out at night by myself, I have this sixth sense that I'm being watched or that there's something in the shadows. Ooh, fuck.
Yeah. I too get that sixth sense after the Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell, available at $1.99 a piece.
It hurts your intestines.
But man, you see God.
Yes, I did see him on the toilet today. A couple years ago, another incident happened to me. I was fast asleep when something woke me out of a dead sleep. I felt the need to look out of my window when I saw a little ball of light hovering over my backyard. I sat and watched it for what felt like an eternity as it just sat there. It moved a couple times from the left to right, but that was it. Now, I know some might think that maybe it was a drone, and I would agree. However, my window was wide open and could hear nothing, not even the crickets outside. That's never a good sign.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So he saw a light and it was just dead silent?
Dead silent. He couldn't hear animals outside either.
Oh, so there's no animals. So that means something's up.
That's never, ever, ever, ever a good sign. And if you see a light that looks like it's coming from an aircraft and it's not making any noise, you best believe that you're about to get anally probed, because that's the only thing that's going to happen next.
I got to ask, how is Kiwi's intuition, him being a small dog?
You would think it'd be really good. He's kind of special though, so I don't know. I don't think he can sense that kind of stuff.
He'd just go back to sleep.
Yeah, he would keep sunbathing by the sliding glass door. Yeah.
Oh, good guy. Good dog.
Now, I've been around some drones and have seen them online, and they can be pretty loud. So I continued to watch the ball of light for as long as I could, but eventually I fell back asleep. Both these incidents have stuck with me, and I don't know why. I don't think about this often, but when something happens that reminds me of the nights I saw the lights and how I didn't exactly feel scared, but didn't exactly feel safe at the same time. Look, I'm just gonna, Manuel, you better be sitting down or laying down like I told you in the beginning of the fucking episode anyway. But you better be sitting down for this. I hate to tell you, man, but you've been being abducted and probed since you were a young boy, all right? It is continually happening to you, and they usually come back for seconds or thirds, all right? So I hate to be the one to tell you, man.
I'm glad that we actually got an actual abduction story. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Like, yeah, he didn't come out and say he was abducted, but I'm filling in the gaps for him because, okay, look, I need everybody here to remember that I am technically a professional, okay? I know I don't come off as a professional because I just made a bunch of racist, like, Native American jokes about 10 minutes ago, but my expertise is with extraterrestrials and abductions. Manuel, my boy, have you noticed your butthole being more malleable than usual, like the last 10 years of your life?
A little dilated, that taking a dump is a lot easier.
Yeah, it just kind of whistles out, you know? Like, I'm trying to figure this out because I'm pretty sure you've been abducted. But look, that's not for me to determine. If you want to send an email about your butthole, like, don't send pics or anything, but let me know what's going on. I can tell you if you were probed or not.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be the only way. There's very specific shapes. And I was going to say stretch marks. But
well, there might be stretch marks on the inside. Ugh.
Yeah. A little specific. Sometimes they put their serial numbers in there, too. That's another way to tell. It's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah. Or maybe you look. So thank you for sending your stories in. If you were actually abducted, I'm sorry I made jokes about it. It's never fun. If you omitted that part, right? If you knew you were abducted and were traumatized by it, and then I re-traumatized you by making fun of it, I apologize. It was Tasker's idea.
Yep.
So get yourself checked out. Stay vigilant because it will continue to happen to you. That is the way it goes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, even if he doesn't remember everything that happened, maybe that's for the better.
It is. Trust me. It's for the better.
Damn. Well, thank you so much. That was, we need some good alien content always.
Yes. Thank you, Manuel. And also Tasker said he will see you at the family reunion next year.
Yep. All 500,000 of us. Yep. Jesus. So, moving forward, our next spooky tale is from an ample young gentleman named River, which
ample.
Yeah, it's what we wrote down.
Oh, that's what I wrote down. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Why? You went. Never mind. Let's just not talk about it. His name is River, or her. Is that a guy or a girl name? No, gentleman.
Gentleman, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not assuming genders or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's a dude.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it is a cool name. River's a very cool name.
It's a dope name.
So let's see what they have to say. Hey, Nick. Hey, Tasker. Thanks for letting me post my story. When I tell people this story, they think I'm a fucking lunatic, so it's nice to know someone out there believes me. P.S. Sorry, it's kind of a long one. No, you don't have to be sorry, River. This is what we're doing this episode for. We want good, long, hard, veiny stories.
Yes, but you are fucking crazy. You are a lunatic.
Absolute psychopath. So, I have a basement in my house, and I don't really like to go down there anymore. Yeah, I know basements are inherently creepy, but you'll soon see why I'm really creeped out by mine. Right now, I am 20 years old, and this story takes place about 6 years ago when I just turned 14.
See, that's why I put ample in there, because he's 20 years old now. He's at his prime. Probably buff, probably looking thick. Yeah. Sorry, River.
Fat booty. 20, those are good years, man. Early 20s. I miss them. Now I get winded if I walk to fucking Rite Aid.
Hey, speak for yourself, man. I get winded walking up the stairs.
Yeah. See, I just avoid stairs entirely. The way to Rite Aid is completely downhill. Okay. I came home from school one day to an empty house. That was usual for me during my school years because both of my parents were at work until 6 or 6:30, and I don't have any siblings. School that day was fine. Nothing spectacular happened, so I was just glad to be home so I could unwind and fuck around and not do homework.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the vibe. Is that a normie thing for me to say?
The vibe.
Yeah.
You know, I've been trying to keep up with the culture of these different slang terms like sus and vibe and poggers and all this bullshit. I think vibe is still okay, but I think it's on its way out.
Yeah, I dig it.
I've just been saying groovy again. I just started saying groovy again, you know, like, so I'm hoping that catches on.
Yep. Well, you know that means if you say groovy, you got to try acid.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Slip a Mickey. That's an old term. That does not necessarily mean acid anymore. So that was actually very inappropriate.
What is Mickey?
To slip a Mickey, because acid used to come in those little tabs. So they would have like little Mickey Mouse like face on it. So that's why they call it slipping a Mickey. But slipping a Mickey can also mean just drugging somebody in general. The connotation of it kind of changed over time.
Oh, right. Yeah, man. Yep. Bill Cosby was a pioneer in that field.
Yeah, big Disney fan.
Yes, he was.
Okay, let's see. So we got home, fuck around, don't want to do homework. Hell yeah. As I got to the front door and pulled my keys out to unlock it, I felt like I was being watched. Not in the usual way where you look over your shoulder and behind you, but the feeling came from in front of me. I was able to kind of narrow it down to the front window of my house to my left, and that's where I felt this kind of presence of sorts coming from. Before unlocking my door, I shot a glance to my window quickly and swear to Jesus that I saw the curtain move a little bit. I chalked it up to being paranoid and went into my house. Okay, thinking like how I would. And I went into my house.
Yeah, you're both just big pussies now.
Just completely like, nope, that's just, I'm just being crazy. I'm just going to walk on, pretend it didn't happen. If I don't see it, it's not there. I chalked it up to being paranoid and went into my house, but very cautiously. I went into the kitchen, like usual, to eat some food, and eventually the weird feeling I'd been feeling faded away. At that point, I just started up my Xbox and started playing some games, because homework is for squares. My fucking man.
Yeah, this guy gets it, dude. River. I expect a guy named River to say homework is for squares, dude. That's awesome.
Dude, you're totally right, though. If I knew a guy named River, I expected him to not do. He's the type where, like, you both go home from school and you both have the same class. You know, you have a shit ton of work to do. You sit down and you get the text from River that says, like, yo, man, we going on COD? You're like, fuck yeah, we are.
Yeah. He's the type of dude to pull the old, that's what I love about high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age. Yes, they do. That's a River move, dude.
It's classic River, man. What a guy. Okay, so homework is for squares, yes. To really get the next part, I have to give a little rundown on my house's layout. So my room is on the second floor. And then on the first floor is the entry and kitchen like normal. And the door to the basement is on the first floor as well. So I'm sitting there playing games when I suddenly hear a knock coming from downstairs. By this time, I'd completely forgotten about the curtain and the creepy feeling I had. So I just assumed the knock was coming from the front door. I get up and go down the stairs to answer the door. But when I'm passing by the basement door, I hear the knock again. But this time it was loud as fuck. And that's because it was coming from the basement door right next to me. I froze and just stood there like, what the fuck am I supposed to do right now? Open the door? Well, clearly, as Nick would put it, I'm quote unquote retarded.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Because I opened the basement door real slow.
Yeah, that's definitely a retarded move, man.
How does it feel to have that as your catchphrase now, Nick?
Not good. People are gonna think I'm not very progressive, you know.
I think you've done that to you. You've done that yourself.
Sick reference.
Oh, thank you, man. It was an okay movie. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but it was the time in my life, aka puberty, when this happened. I thought I could take on the world and was thinking to myself, these people think they can invade my house.
My house?
Good on you, man. Well, I opened the door and there was nothing and no one there. Honestly, it was pretty jarring. I still felt like I had big balls, so I began taking a couple steps down the stairs to investigate, but that's when I heard a scratching coming from deeper in the basement. Sure, it could have been an animal, but I've heard enough horror stories to know better. Till this day, I absolutely hate going into the basement, and when I do, I still feel that same feeling of being watched.
Ugh. Ugh.
Scratching is never a good sign. Whenever you're in the dark, scary place and you hear the scratching on the walls, because it's one thing when you're like your buddy's doing it to scare you, but usually I have a feeling that sounds like much bigger claw-like scratching, right?
That's what it sounds like. Look, this dude was home alone. Okay, he was home alone, and not only did he hear scratching, which like he said could have been an animal, maybe like a fucking, I don't know, a rat or like a something that scratches. I don't know, something with claws, right?
Yeah,
something scratching. But not only was it that, but there was knocking with it. And last time I checked, animals don't know how to like be proper and knock on doors for entry, you know? So the fact that it's a combination of knocking and scratching is what really perks up my ears for this story. Pretty damn creepy. Not probably a smart move to be afraid of your basement, sir.
yeah, and it seems like it might be a little like you could reason through a lot of these feelings, but it's like that dread, that feeling of being watched. It's like, that's how we survive so long. We got that human internal instinct of when we feel we're in danger.
Yeah, and again, talking about spirits and opportunity and presenting themselves, during the story, River was going through puberty. And as we learned in our Amherst Poltergeist episode, puberty is a very opportune time for spirits to make themselves known.
Yeah, your body's changing. That whole, I don't know what that connection is. It's like that's the sort of just growing up and having that big transitional period just makes you vulnerable.
It does. Your vibrations are all over the place when you're going through puberty. All right.
Yeah.
So it opens up all kinds of doors.
Don't you miss the random boners?
Oh, I still get those.
I remember one of the worst days ever was PE. So, you have to wear the PE shorts, such the ones you get from school are not high quality. So you don't really have like the band thing doesn't work super well. But see, normally you could just kind of swing that thing in your waistband and, go about your day. Right. And I had one of those days where this thing was powerful, dude. It was like, and it happened when I was like sitting down and they were taking forever on roll. So I'm just like trying every trick in the book. Cause the minute you stand up, you don't know where that thing is exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, enough talking about my wiener. Let's talk about,
yeah. Also, that was it. There's no like climax, no pun intended. There's no climax to the story. You're just,
well, there's more to the story. I just don't know if you guys wanted to hear it.
Look, you've already talked to them about your masturbation habits like a couple episodes ago.
Never would I thought to be in a situation where there are 40 plus people in this world are just know a whole lot about my dick.
Yeah, well, welcome to showbiz. Now, now you know what it's like, man. That's why I don't talk about my wiener on here.
It's kind of fun. It feels good to let all these. Okay, let's just move on.
Okay.
These two come from Pat. These are good old Pat. Yes. So that could be Patrick, could be Patricia. We don't know. It was not specified, but that's okay. You know what? We will respect your anonymity. So yeah, keep sending stories, please. It is a good old hood classic haunted house story. Are you ready?
I'm ready for a spook. Let's do this. Are you guys at home still in your onesies? Open up your butt flaps. I know it's getting a little warm, so just keep your butt flaps open in your onesies and just let it hang out, all right?
Yep. And if you're ready, if you're going to shit yourself, just park it down on the toilet and listen there because you will be prepared. Okay, let's see. Hey guys, thought these stories about my first house would be perfect for your episode. When my husband and I moved in, we got the full disclosure from our real estate agent that the house was known to be haunted.
Hold up. Let me stop you right there. So we haven't established yet if this Pat is a man or a woman, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so woman because wife. Well, no, actually, no, it doesn't say. Hold on,
it says my husband. So either it is a woman, Patricia,
right,
or it's a gay.
A gay, as if they're like some kind of animal. Wow.
That was rude.
Honestly, I don't know. For all I know, that could be totally okay. And I'm just like being a Karen about this.
No, I think that's what they prefer to be called now, is a gay.
A singular gay, huh?
Yep.
Well, if we're wrong, let us know. So it could be gay marriage. It could be just nuclear. Who cares? No, we do care. We do care.
No, I care. We care. All right. Just don't shove it down my throat. You know.
Yeah. No, I got nothing to add. I'm fucking.
We can cut that whole bit for my. I don't give a fuck. No.
We'll see. We'll see how it sounds. Okay. When my husband and I moved in, we got full disclosure from our real estate agent that the house might be haunted. It was a good property, and it went for a pretty good price. My husband is a total skeptic, so he didn't care. And I've put up with some paranormal stuff growing up. We had a family ghost in our house, respect. So I didn't worry about it either. The haunting stuff was very typical. Our things would go missing, rooms would get very cold out of nowhere, doors opening and closing. It was more annoying than scary, and life went on without incident for the most part. Whenever these things would happen, though, I would always blame the ghost, which annoyed my husband. He was always trying to find more practical explanations. Finally, I went in on him really hard about it being paranormal activity, and then he finally decided that he was just sick of hearing it. He decided it was time to prove a point. I'm going up into the attic by myself, pitch black, and call for the ghost to get me, which is what he told me. I said, okay, have fun then, and left him to do it by himself. I was in the kitchen later that day. I hadn't seen my husband in a while. I started hearing these loud whacking noises, though, just like a wham, wham, wham,
Wham, wham,
wham, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
The ghost. Yeah.
wham, bam, right in the clam.
Oh, good. Interesting. I have not heard that before. Ghosts don't normally make whamming sounds, so I got curious and followed the noise. And I eventually found my husband, who was using a hammer and nail to board up the entrance to the attic. His face was pale and sweaty. He looked at me with the most terrified look I'd ever seen him make, and he stared at me for a second before saying, "Nobody goes up there, ever." He didn't talk about it for a bit, but eventually he told me that he had went into the pitch black attic as he promised and called out to whoever was possibly in the house. Something had grabbed his shirt and started to pull him violently into the attic. He claims he had to fight for his life to break free and was so shook that it brought him to board up the entrance. He claims that he's still skeptical and that maybe he just got caught up in the frenzy of things, or maybe he had some sort of episode of sorts, but I can tell that what happened still bothers him.
I hate that shit. I hate that shit when a paranormal something comes and smacks a skeptic in the ass and he still refuses to believe it. That pisses me off more than anything.
Yeah. Well, there's more. Don't you worry, man. Remember, this is a twofer. The second story takes place in the same house. We ended up moving out a few months after this had happened. We had a guest come over to spend the night. We'll call her Sharon. Sharon was an extremely devout Catholic with crucifix necklaces and everything. She was just going to spend a few nights with us, so she shows up with a literal backpack full of crosses. When I showed her to the guest bedroom, she rolled these things out like a surgeon rolls out his tools and then started to place them all over the room.
What is she, like fucking Van Helsing?
I guess so. And it's like, I guess she just started just putting them on the walls, putting them on the desks. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I see in my head.
Jesus.
So I just kind of shrugged and said, whatever makes you feel comfortable, and let her do her thing. The day went on, and eventually the time came to go to sleep. My husband and I woke up to loud, desperate banging and Sharon screaming her lungs out.
Oh, yeah?
No, different kind of screaming. Different screaming.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise this story is gonna go end a little bit differently.
Yeah, I thought this was going somewhere.
Yeah. We ran over to her door and tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. We yelled and we asked what was going on. She kept hollering and screaming. We kept trying to open the door until we finally heard a loud shuffle noise, and suddenly the door opened. We ran in and she was on the ground sobbing. So apparently one of the super heavy dressers we keep in the guest room moved on its own and blocked the door, and she could not move it to get out. When my husband and I came over, the dresser had moved back on its own and let us in. The poor lady frantically grabbed all of her crucifixes, ran out of the house crying, nearly hysterical. It was terrible at the time, and we felt really bad, but at the same time, it was a little funny. She tried very hard. Well, I'm glad they have a good sense of humor about it.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of funny. Damn, those are two very intense stories to have experienced.
That's insane. Like, I just can't believe they. Okay, if I was house shopping, I'm the kind of guy who'd be annoying and be like, okay, you got full disclosure. You have to tell me if this place is haunted or somebody died in here. You have to tell me. And I actually think it's a law that if you, some places they have to tell you, other places they don't have to tell you unless you ask.
Well, when I bought my place, it's not haunted. But that's because it's 3.5 years old. So it didn't have a chance to be haunted, which is disappointing.
Unless it was built on a burial ground.
For all I know, it could be, man. I am surrounded by fucking Indians. I'm surrounded by them right now.
Wow. What if it's like not a Native American ground, but like something stupid like a white supremacist group burial ground?
So I just have this ghost, like I'm sleeping at night, and all of a sudden I hear the door creak open nice and slow, and then all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, buddy, we're having a rally down the way. If you want to come and join us, we got to get rid of some of them blacks that just moved into the neighborhood." Like, oh, I don't want in. All right, I'm good. I'm good.
It's like the actual, like, because you know the classic ghost where it's just like the sheet, but it's just like a fucking floating KKK uniform.
Yeah.
Oh yes, to be East must be interesting, huh?
Oh yes, but thank you, Pat, for the stories. Those were intense. So if you guys actually went through that, that's pretty damn intense. And you know what the sad thing is, Pat? Your husband is still probably a skeptic because he fucking just refuses to believe and refuses to open his third eye after being through two hardcore experiences. God, what an asshole. No offense.
I just imagine him like getting possessed. He's just like doing all the scary demon stuff. Suddenly he like comes to for a second. He's like, don't worry, it's just coronavirus.
Yeah. I think somebody just slipped me something in my drink.
I think I just got drunk. It's just roofie. It's okay.
What a jackass. But no offense, you guys probably have a nice marriage, so.
Thank you though for the story. Those are creepy.
Very creepy. Thank you. Now, next up, we have a series of events from a friend of ours. She wanted to remain anonymous. So she is codenamed Brown Sugar Bay.
Nice.
Yes. Brown Sugar Bay.
I dig it.
I did not choose the name. I'm not being racist or sexist. That is the name I was given as a code name.
It's just the unfortunate circumstance of that coming right after our last bit.
Yes.
Good job, us.
All right, you CEO TPK freaks. I have only shared these experiences with family members and one close friend. So I guess I'll start by asking you guys this question. Have you ever experienced a weird amount of deja vu? That uncanny sensation that you've already experienced something even when you never have. Well, I find that I experience that feeling on a weekly basis.
That's weird.
That must be horrifying.
Yeah, because I actually do get a lot of deja vu, but it's like not every week. It's just one of those every once in a while. Like sometimes you're like, oh fuck, I think I've done this before.
Exactly, but then imagine having to do it all the time. That must suck.
Yeah.
Unless you could use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a movie about that.
Oh yeah, Rain Man. That was a good one.
It was called Deja. Okay, just go on.
From what I can remember, my experiences started in middle school. I dreamed about a certain event happening, and then the next week it would happen. Nothing short of simple coincidences. I started to become skeptical of these quote-unquote coincidences throughout senior year of high school and up to present day. Always question coincidences. There is no such thing as coincidences. If you think that there are, you've already fallen for the trap, man.
I think that was something that when I was still in the dating game, that was the advice you gave me. There's no such thing as coincidence. If somebody does something, they probably meant to do it.
Exactly. Things happen for a reason, all right? Whether it's a fucking divine intervention or whether it's just life, it happens for a reason. So I'm glad you've opened up your eye. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was only until this past year where I started keeping track of weird recurring dreams. What tempted me to do this was actually a close encounter with death. One day, my sibling and I were driving to a library to study. Nerd!
Wow. See, we just had River, the homie.
We're just kidding, Brown Sugar Bay. It's okay.
I'm sure you're making a lot more money than both of us.
Yes. I was not sure why, but I had a gut feeling of grief, sorrow, and pain. It only lasted a split second, but it was concerning because for the last week or so, I had been having dreams of losing someone in the family, though I did not know who it was in my dreams. Later that night, my sibling got into an awful car accident. Somehow, my sibling managed to take out a lamppost and completely flip the car, all four wheels in the air, and walk out with only 2 scratches.
Damn. Now, that's some guardian angel shit right there.
There's something watching over your family if that's the case.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, dude. And I the reason I believe in that is because I seriously think I get that shit with my family line, because my whole thing is like I feel like I'm usually pretty unlucky, but I feel like I'm really lucky when it counts. That's got to be some guardian angel stuff.
Got to be lucky when it counts. That's all that matters.
Yep, exactly.
Thankfully, my sibling was fine, but I couldn't help but feel like I could have prevented the accident. I spoke I spoke to my dad later that night and told him about my dreams and the gut feeling I had earlier that day. To him, I have always been this way. He explained that when I was younger, I would talk about my dreams and mention things I should not have known about. Certain family members I have never met or known, talking about having another sibling before my mom found out she was pregnant, and things that would eventually happen in his career. Personally, I don't remember any of these dreams from when I was that young, and my dad never thought anything of it at the time. My dad also mentioned that this kind of quote-unquote gift runs in both sides of the family. Very interesting. Hereditary.
Cool.
After the car accident, my dad suggested that I write down the dreams I have, especially if they are weird and recurring. Your dad had a good point. That's good. Always track stuff like that. Always, 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 always track your psychic abilities. That's the only way to enhance them.
Yep, strengthen them up. And I was going to say, oh, you should tell us how our podcast does in the future. I'm like, you know what? Actually, don't do that.
Don't, because Tasker's going to be dead somewhere, and I'm going to be dead somewhere, and
in some freak remote recording accident.
Yeah, our equipment just blows up in our faces. Yeah. And I followed through with my dad's suggestion and found out that my dreams align with reality way too often. So much so that I am starting to question if they are coincidences or not. They're not. They're not coincidences. All right.
Yeah. If you've stumbled upon, if you're deep enough to be like calling it a gift, it's probably not a coincidence.
Yes, exactly. That's a good observation, Tasker. Very astute.
My third eye, it's like it blinks every now and again.
God, and there's nothing that's the whole reason I'm doing this podcast in the beginning, was to get your third eye open. And look, fucking almost a year later, it's starting to work. So
you're seeing promising signs. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, I am very happy. Recently, a close friend of mine actually gave me a little pouch of crystals, herbs, and other voodoo shit to see if they would enhance my dreams. That sounds like a good friend. That sounds like a good friend. I'm offended that you called it voodoo shit, but we can let that. I'll let it go. Whatever. You know, it's cool. It's cool.
Oh yeah, I know. I always bring it up, but I got my milky quartz.
Got your milky quartz on the desk.
Yep, right on my left as usual, and it's. I don't know. Nothing crazy has happened, so I think it works. I don't know.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the beauty of it, man. That's the beauty of it. So far, I have noticed a difference in my dreams and whether or not they align with reality. I won't explain every experience I've had, but I'll give you guys something that might just freak Nick and Tasker out.
Oh boy.
Just a quick spoiler here. I know Nick. He has been a great friend of mine, but I found out a couple of things that I have shown to be true about him through a dream I had. In my dream, I could not stop seeing a vape mod.
Oh, wow. Yep. No, I'm already convinced she's the real deal.
The box, or whatever it's called, was a black and red ombre and steroids in an apron pocket of his.
Now, Nick.
Look. It's not what it sounds like.
Sure.
I asked Nick later that week if he did any of the two. Nick denied the steroids, which I think he is still lying about, but but admitted to vaping.
Man.
Look at my. I'm showing Tasker in FaceTime right now. It is a red and black ombre vape mod.
Oh yeah, no, dude, you fucking like Thomas the Tank Engine with that thing. You've always loved your vape.
Yes, that's it, listeners. Now you know Nick's big secret. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you vaped on mic before.
I do it all the time on mic. I just try and do it out of range. Okay.
I do think it was audible in like one of the scenes or something like that.
My apologies.
It was never mind. It was on an ender. It was on one of our little end clips that we do, where it's like you can definitely hear the and you have that kind of like vape voice.
Look, I used to smoke. This is helping me. Okay, all right.
No, it's cool, and I know it's like kind of a hobby of yours to like build mods and stuff like that. So there's definitely worse things in the world.
Yes, it helps with my autism.
Yeah, but about the steroids, we'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that later. It's very expensive.
I know gyms are closed, but it's not the way, man.
It turns out that I described his vape almost perfectly, and she did. My vape is a red and black ombre. And for those who aren't savvy in the style, the ways of style, ombre just means that one color fades into another one.
Yep, it's also called gradient.
Great, yeah, but that's if you're a fucking art major, all right? So,
or a graphic designer,
or same thing. All right, all the same. You guys just draw stuff and make money, all right? Which is good. That's a good career to have,
especially when you actually do get to make money. That makes it a lot better.
Exactly.
Not that I'm salty or anything.
Okay, I know. I can hear it coming out. I can hear it seething through your teeth. You just got a good gig.
I did. Yeah, it hasn't started yet, but that's why I'm still salty. I'll be less salty when it starts.
Now, as for Tasker, I do not know Tasker personally, but I had one dream about who I think Tasker is to be. Bald. Check. What? Don't look at me like that, like I'm saying a lie.
No, I'm freaking out.
Oh, okay. I thought you were mad. I'm like, it's not my fault.
That breath was not animosity. It was terror.
Light brownish beard. Check. Wears glasses. Check. And short.
I'm definitely like 5'5". I'm pretty small.
But you're close to average.
Yeah, I'm like it's. I've noticed this is the type of short I am. I'm only short when I point it out, and most people don't even put it together. Like, oh fuck, I guess you are kind of short. I'm like, yeah, and then it begins.
It's just a relative. I think it's just a comparison thing. Because I'm like a weird lanky dude. I'm like a weird tall lanky Slenderman. You know.
Well, it didn't help that like, especially back in high school, everyone I hung out with, you included, were like fucking like 6 foot something. So it was like, so comparatively speaking, yeah, I'm not like teeny tiny, but like no, I'm like a little below average.
You're fun sized.
That is what I like to say. It makes me feel good.
Good. Nick has never described how Tasker looks, and I have never met Tasker at all.
I only know her as Brown Sugar Bay.
Brown Sugar Bay, that's right. And when I came to Nick describing this person, I actually thought it was Nick's dad. But Nick never spoke about his dad, so I figured Tasker might be the next best guess. I still have never met Tasker, but I'd love to get the opportunity to see how accurate my dream was. I can tell you, it's accurate. And Tasker can confirm too.
Frighteningly accurate. Like, that's kind of insane. Like, yeah, to a T. Like, that is exactly probably how most people would describe me if they met me. So, like, holy shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the real deal. It's the real deal for sure.
If you have any predictions about what happens to me, just don't tell me. I don't want to know.
I want to know.
Yeah, and you're just gonna like tease it on me.
Exactly. I've also heard some pretty dope stories about Tasker as well.
I hope so.
I've told some pretty dope stories about you to people.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate the good word.
Anytime. On an unrelated note, one of the most recent episodes was about sleep paralysis. I'd say that I have sleep paralysis just about every time I nap, which is really annoying. I have only had one terrifying experience with sleep paralysis. One day, I was napping and my eyes suddenly flicked open. I was overwhelmed with heat, but could not take any of the blankets off. I could not speak or call for anyone to help me, so I decided to go back to sleep. Normally, I would start freaking out, but having experienced this so many times, I've found that going back to sleep normally helps, and I am able to wake up and move around about 15 minutes later. Something weird happened this time, though. As I was trying to fall back asleep, I heard whispering. It did not sound creepy or sadistic, but it was a male's voice, and it sounded rather cheerful, saying, "Wake up! He's here! Are you awake yet?" I don't know.
That was fucking terrifying. That laugh you just did.
Yeah, I'm kind of a voice actor. So
what was that one thing he said forever ago? It's like, yeah, I'm kind of like Will Smith. You're like, why are you like Will Smith? He's like, because I'm an actor.
yeah, that's my line. That's my favorite. Because see, the joke is you could pick anybody.
Yeah,
but I chose Will Smith.
Yeah, good for you.
My eyes shot open. I could not move my head. I listened intently, thinking it was maybe my phone or someone in the house. Nothing. I closed my eyes again and heard the same thing minutes later. But this time, it felt as though an actual person was whispering in my ear. "Wake up. He's here. Are you awake yet?"
Yeah. Are you proud of yourself?
Yes. This time, I was pissed off, but more scared, if anything. I woke up sweating, anticipating a panic attack, but I still could not remove any blankets. All I could do was focus on my breathing and try to get up, which I eventually was able to do. While I have much more to say, I think I'll leave the rest for next year's Halloween segment. Thanks for listening. P.S. Nick, I dreamt that you had a close encounter with a furry. Please stay vigilant. Jeez, that's the fucking scariest thing of this entire episode.
Oh, yeah, man. So, and she predicts the future, so that means this hasn't happened yet. Has it?
And I'm not that I'm aware of. See, the scariest part about furries is they're like werewolves because you don't know until it's too late, right? They could be anybody. I could go to the grocery store and walk past 10 furries and I would never know unless they were in their fucking smelly, moldy, sperm-covered fursuits. All right,
you'd be none the wiser. So it might have already have you had any like altercations in which like you felt like really uncomfortable recently? Because for all you know, it might have been from a furry.
Actually, yeah, I went to this fall festival type thing during COVID, which was really smart. A couple nights ago, and I felt kind of uncomfortable there. There could have been furries that I just didn't know about, but I think maybe she had a dream that I actually encountered an in-person fursona furry in their suit and everything. If I ever see a goddamn furry, all right, I'm not one to get violent, right? Yeah, I know martial arts, but I use it for self-defense. Yeah, and I'm always on the defense, not the offense, blah, blah, blah. If I ever see a furry, all right, I will give them the people's elbow so goddamn fast that you won't even be able to see it coming, dude. Like, so I really hope this doesn't happen. Because, like, if I just go to the grocery store and I'm in the checkout line and I hear some person just yapping about behind me with their friend, making a bunch of noise like they do because they like attention. That's why they're wearing the suit, right? I'll turn around. All of a sudden, there's a lizard and a dog just having a conversation behind me. Dude, I will drop them so fast. I'll give them both attitude adjustments, dude, and then end with the people's elbow. It's going to be fucking nuts.
See, you should play. There's a game on Steam called Murder House, and it's about like they're like a news crew studying like the old home of a serial killer who got the chair, and then the serial killer shows up again. He's wearing a big old bunny suit. He's called the Easter Bunny Killer. So you might like this game.
That sounds fun. Awfully close to a furry, but it sounds fun.
Yeah, but a little bit more of a murderous spin to it. And it's like built like those like classic like old PlayStation horror games and stuff like that. It's pretty spooky.
Sounds dope.
There you go. So okay, well, definitely keep us posted on the whole furry stuff, huh?
I'll let you guys know. Look, if I encounter one, I will go straight to social media and start talking about it on our podcast social media so you guys can know. Okay, I'll try and take pictures too.
Yes, you got. It's just gonna be like a Skyrim POV with like your fist like cocked back.
Open wide.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to our last and final story. This has been a really fun idea and episode. Like, definitely looking forward to doing more of these. But by the way, just wanted to say,
hell yeah, it's been a great time to hear from you guys.
Absolutely. So this last one comes from a fan named Candace.
Candace.
Candace, I don't really hear that name very much anymore.
Yeah, what is this? The early 90s?
Well, we'll see. This is a cautionary tale about Ouija boards and about being young and stupid. I wrote that part.
Well, look, being young and stupid goes hand in hand. I can attest to that. So you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think we can all attest to that, but let's see what happens. Hey, Nick/Tasker. Hope October has been scary enough for you. This is about a party I went to when I was in high school with my swim team. No boys were allowed, so it was all girls.
No boys allowed.
No.
What do you think they're thinking about?
You think Robbie has a crush on you? Like, I don't know.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
Okay. The girls who lived there had said that there was a house ghost, but nobody really paid. A lot of house ghosts this time, huh?
I like that she called it a house ghost, like it's like a regular, normal thing, like just like, oh, that's the house ghost.
Yeah, some people have you met people like that? I've had that.
Where they're just like, oh, and that's Vincent. He's the house ghost. He just likes to show up every once in a while when we make tuna casserole.
Yeah, it's his favorite. But yeah, no, totally. I've totally met people like that.
I wish I could be that people.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle, I'm sure. But house ghost. And she says nobody really paid too much mind to it. They said it was pretty harmless. Sometimes you would actually see it chilling on the staircase, and it took the form of a young boy.
Hey, you guys got any smokes?
Yes. Awful hard going through the afterlife sober.
I know I'm just a young boy, but I'm technically 500 years old, so you guys got any alcohol or what?
Come on, help a guy out. That being said, one of the girls thought it would be an interesting idea to bring out a Ouija board. And of course, she was taunting us that we were all too chicken to do it, so we obviously had to. We set it up, lit some candles, and began the Ouija board thing. Sorry, that was just me reading it badly, but I'll continue. The girl who lived there was obviously weary, so she said to make sure to light only white candles because that gives a better chance to have more friendlier spirits.
That's fucking racist.
Okay. You're one to talk.
Hey, whoa.
What?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, nice try. We used it for about 20 minutes, the Ouija board, asking it about crushes and stupid stuff like that. Afterwards, we realized we made two mistakes. We didn't realize that the candle actually had red flakes in it, and we forgot to say goodbye.
Always say goodbye. There have been dozens of movies made about this concept. Look, I know that this was a mistake, but you fucked up and it's your fault, Candace.
Yeah, that's kind of a classic blunder, but
we forgive you.
Yep, exactly. So the way it's phrased is like, so at the time they didn't realize they made a fuck up of that magnitude, and maybe they just didn't know better because not everyone. This thing doesn't always. Do they come with instruction books? I've never bought one.
Yeah.
So I imagine that. That's fucking crazy. The most terrifying thing ever is sold by Hasbro.
Yeah, but hey, if it works, it works. Remember, it's all about intent. It doesn't matter what you use. It's all about what you're intending to do. The Ouija board just makes it easy.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? So we went downstairs to continue our night, and as people started to leave to go home, things got weird. At this point, there was about 4 of us left. The door to the downstairs office room suddenly slammed shut and would not open. And that door does not lock either. The kitchen cabinet started to fly open and pots and pans started flying out. and it was a scene straight out of a horror movie. We saw the ghosts the girl who lived there was talking about, and he appeared on the staircase, but now he was super clearly visible. He had a bunch of burn marks all over him, which we learned was because it turns out he had died in a fire. And our friend who lives there also said he originally died in a fire. The weird thing is that the little boy was scared, and like he was like pointing to like the upstairs, the room where they had the Ouija board, and that's when it clicked and they realized what they did wrong. So they ran upstairs, set up the Ouija board, and of course told the spirit to leave and said goodbye. My friend had a car and I didn't, so she was set to drive us home. So naturally, of course, they all noped the fuck out of there. The friend who lives there said she was going to burn sage and call her mom and dad to come home early since they'd taken a night out, to let them have their little girls' night. So as me and my friend got to the car in our driveway, we noticed that there was definitely something in the second story window staring at us as we were walking to our car. And it was terrifying. We felt it, we saw it, and we just quickly looked away. As we got into our car and began driving, we well, here's a little context here. Is as we discussed earlier in our episode, spirits can attach themselves to you, especially if you're exposed to them. So back to the story. As they were driving, I looked into the rear view mirror and saw the thing that was in the second story window was now in the back seat of our car.
Damn.
I turned to my friend and said, hey, do you see? But she immediately cut me off and said, trembling, I see it too. We drove silently with the shadowy thing in the back of our car until finally I shakily said, you are not welcome here. You need to leave now. You are not welcome in this car or my home or hers. And she said the same thing, and we kept driving, but just refused to look back. Now, the reason I said that is because I remember my grandma had told me if a ghost attaches itself to you, you need to tell it it's not welcome before it follows you home, where it might take new residence. So fortunately, once we got back to my place, it was nowhere to be seen. I got dropped off and slept with the lights on that night.
Holy shit, that sounds like not a fun sleepover.
That sounds like the worst fucking night of my goddamn life. I would fucking never go there ever again. I would cut contact. It's just that is a level of don't want that. Nope.
Yeah, that would make a good movie. That would make a pretty good like little horror short, but man, that was pretty creepy, Candace. Sorry you had to go through that, but I mean, it made for a good story. God damn.
Yeah, good thing for her grandma saved her ass. Holy shit, that thing would be in her house next.
Yeah, but then we could have gotten more stories out of her.
Oh, this is very true. But
Candace, invite it back. Invite it back to your house.
go to Toys R. No, Toys R Us they don't exist anymore now, huh?
Nah, but you can get Ouija boards on Amazon.
You can get everything on Amazon. Oil the machine with the blood of its workers.
Yes, fuck them.
But support your local stores if you can. Buy your Ouija board. Unless you buy it at like a pawn shop, I feel like that's just inviting disaster.
You should buy them on Etsy. That's where you get the dope ones, the ones that people customize. And oh man,
yeah, I kind of just for funsies, I want to look that up really quick. Etsy Ouija board. Let's see. Wow, there's some really fancy looking ones. Oh yeah, this looks like all kinds of shit that would fuck your life up forever.
Yeah, so go to Etsy. Support your local Etsy shops and buy a Ouija board, everybody. Candace, thank you for sending us your story. We appreciate it. We're sorry you had to go through that. We're sorry to everybody on this episode who had to go through what they went through, but thank you for sharing it with us. That was it for our first ever Oral with the Boys episode.
Yeah, it was a long, hard, sticky load, but we made it through. These were fantastic stories. Like, holy shit! Like, good job, you guys.
Yes, you guys sent us the cream of the crop. It was awesome. You guys did a really good job. Thank you for being open and vulnerable, and the most terrifying moments in your life you sent to us to say out loud and make fun of. So we appreciate that. Look, guys. Halloween's coming up. All right. We won't be talking to you guys until after Halloween again. So please have fun. Please be safe. If people come to your door, remember COVID's going on, right? Allegedly. So there's COVID going around. Don't wear a mask. You're fine. It's your house. Technically, the virus can't enter your house. It's a rule of nature. So you're
Gotta
fine.
invite it in.
You got to invite it in. So just open the door, give them the candy. You'll be fine. Have fun, drink a lot of alcohol, watch horror movies, and you guys rock. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
Yeah, it's great to have you all here. I'm glad we've reached a point in our podcastery that we actually had enough fan base to do an episode like this. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time, like hearing from you guys, hearing your stories, getting like your specific takes, and like it's just cool. It's just cool.
Yeah, we didn't think that we'd be at this point already where we could do this, but you guys have made it possible for us. So thank you. We hope that this has been like a fun, spooky episode for your just before Halloween time, you know. Speaking of spooky, speaking of shit like that, look, Count Chocula is becoming more and more of an issue for me. I am seeing it more in stores. I don't know about anybody else. Again, Tasker, nothing, right?
Still nothing, man. And you know me, I'm actually like, I'm trying now, and that says a lot.
He's actually going out to look. There's nothing. I'm still doing research. Tasker's still doing research. We're compiling our outline very soon. It will be about damn near 100 pages at this point. It's going to be a thick outline. Expect an episode soon because there's some shit going on that you guys need to know about before it's too late for either of us, basically.
Yeah, like you said, we've been sifting through, we've been revising, we've been, and sometimes we debunk our own things that we find. So, we have to rewrite it and stuff like that. And it feels like as if the truth is constantly shifting, like some kind of like minotaur like maze. And trust me, guys, this is harder than fucking that game Myst.
Like, for instance, originally, when we did some research, we found that allegedly Count Chocula was behind the Coney 2012 scam.
Right.
Turns out that wasn't true, but we didn't put it past him. But we did debunk our own stuff. So we're trying to get the most accurate information for you. We're still sifting through and revising. So just give us a little bit more time. We can get that episode out. Okay.
Oh yeah. And just wait till we get to the part about his sex tape. Now that's where things get frosty.
Yeah. Rumors have it that him and Booberry Eiffel Towered Paris Hilton at one point in the tape, while Frankenberry was fapping in the corner. That's apparently what's in the tape, and we can, post it to the Discord if you guys want, but it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it was the inspiration for Paris Hilton's movie House of Wax, I think.
Yeah. Because she became a house of wax after that. She's video
covered in wax after that.
Yes, she was.
Tragic.
Well,
stay vigilant, everybody. If you like what you hear, please iTunes rate and review. Hit us with a 5-star. Give us a couple words. That would be fantastic. We would love that. It would help us with keeping our visibility up. Spotify, you can hit us with a follow. New episodes every Wednesday. Instagram, we are at CEOTPK. YouTube, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. If you prefer it there, we are all up to date there. Twitter is at CEOTPK1. We have our Facebook, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. If you want to receive updates or you just need links for all these stuff, it will be there. Email us at ceotpk1@gmail.com. We will be doing more episodes like these in the future, and we will give you maybe like a couple weeks notice so you have time to compile and figure your stories out. If you want to join us on Discord, we have discord.gg/lowercase b, number 6, capital C, capital T, number 5, capital M, capital X. We've got a nice little blossoming community there. Come on, join our cult. It'll be really fun.
Join the cult.
It's a good time for all of us, and not yet a pyramid scheme, but we're working on it. Speaking of pyramid schemes, if you want to donate to us, we have coffee, ko/fi.com/CEOTPK. Nice and easy link. Completely optional. Don't feel obligated to do so. It's just there if you feel like it.
Absolutely. You guys, thank you again for the stories. You guys rock. We wouldn't be doing this without you. We couldn't do this without you. If we were 44 episodes deep and not a single person listened to us, do you think I'd still be writing outlines every week? What, for my own amusement, to amuse my other personality?
It's like writing a book report for fun.
Yeah, who does that? But look, guys, whether it's Oral with the Boys or it's just another Alien episode, regardless, you know the truth is out there because you heard it with your own ears today.
Yep, just return that Ouija board, get your refund, go buy yourself a hot dog or something. Happy Halloween. Be safe. We love you guys. Thank you. But also remember that true shit, it's not.
Hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh?
Oh man, that might come back for Christmas, remember?
I hope so.
Yeah.